All right, guest number 2. We have got Joe Omi with Emler Swim School. Welcome. I am Hayes Johnson. We're excited to do this. I'm going to let him do most of the talking today, but welcome to the show.
Thank you. Well, thanks for having me. This is
Yeah,
great.
so Joe, we always like to start really just learn about yourself. Tell us how you started, how you got your start, and all of that stuff.
So, yes, I'm the founder of New Jersey Swim Schools in the NJ Swim Companies. We had 7 locations across New Jersey, and we sold to Emler Brands in 2023, November 17th. So now we're part of the bigger fish.
Awesome. And then how did you get your start?
Well, I never really wanted to have a real job, so I always thought that teaching swimming was a fun way to do that. I was a lifeguard on the beach on an ocean rescue team, and by default, I broke my arm one summer, and then I ended up getting a job at a pool lifeguarding, and I was playing with all the kids and throwing them around during my breaks, and one of the managers came over and said, "You should teach." And I said, "What do I have to do?" And I said, "You're doing it." So the next year, I got my WSI in New Jersey and worked in the swim lesson program, and I ended up coaching the summer swim team at that time too. So that was great.
Awesome. So New Jersey Swim Schools, let's back up real quick. Can you tell us about your curriculum and how, because I want to ask, how was Emler so interested in coming to you guys? Is there synergy with the curriculum stuff? And tell us about your approach there. And
Well, 2 things. Yeah. Jan Emler was a mentor of mine coming up through the industry for years. And she was always there with me, her and Kendra Walker, who's also one of the main players at Emler. We just always had a synergy and very much in line from a business sense and, morally and just the way we treated our customers and as families, our staff as a team. And we really saw eye to eye. And when the opportunity came, they reached out to me and said, we have an opportunity for you to join us. And it was actually great because I called Kendra and I said, "Hey, it looks like we're going to be on the same team." And she said, "Funny, I always thought we were teammates." So that was it, for me. And we joined the Emler brand, and now we have close to 80 schools under the umbrella with different brands within the big brand. So,
okay. So when an Emler comes to you, you have your curriculum, the families, the kids are used to this curriculum, and then Emler comes in. What happens to the curriculum at that point?
So we just recently introduced, I'm losing my headphones. We just recently introduced a new curriculum that was brought to us by all of the different brands came together. We created a committee.
Oh, okay.
Basically rewrote
all under that 80-ish. Okay,
correct.
Cool.
So we wanted one brand, one curriculum, one team. So in order to streamline all of the brands into one curriculum, we wrote a new curriculum. So taking the best of each brand and incorporating them all. So it wasn't much different because I was a pretty big voice on the curriculum committee. So there's things that I would, die on the hill for, if you would. So we kept a lot of the things that we did and made them better by incorporating new things. We changed the names of things, but after all, it's, water babies to swim team prep level,
exactly.
if you will. So.
And then learn to swim is obviously the most important piece here. But then you have all of these parents that get through the curriculum and they often say, "Hey, what's next? Where do I go from here?" What is your guys' approach there?
Well, that's an interesting phenomenon because when we had NJ Swim, we changed the name from Swim Team Prep to Power Swim because the kids that were good athletes and not necessarily wanting to be on a swim team, but love the water, love to swim, love the benefits of swimming and working out in the pool, wanted something more. So we incorporated surf paddle boards and things like that. So made it a fun class for them, but it was a challenging workout twice a week, 45 minutes, like that. So it wasn't a full-time life commitment like a swim team.
Yeah, sure. Exactly.
And it's not for everybody. So there's definitely a genre of people or kids at that age where going to swimming lessons isn't cool when you're 8 years old. So we had to call it something else. So we called it Swim Team Prep for a long time, and we do now. But we incorporate all the swim team skills, starts and turns, and all the rules of swim team. So if they do decide they wanted to go to, and they're prepared.
And then the education piece for the parents, because that's important too. So when they get through the swim team prep, you guys call it swim team prep, how do you tell them they can fly off to somewhere else? Like, you guys have wings now. Do you want to go do meets? Do you want to do that? Do you guys partner with people locally? How does that work?
Well, so one of the things is having the children kids prepared for that, knowing the rules of swim team, knowing what a two-hand touch is, knowing what a legal breaststroke kick is. Those things were important, and it's less daunting going into a swim team practice, knowing the rules versus learning the rules at a first swim team practice with kids that have been doing it for 10 years already, you know? So that's important. And they get a sense of confidence and pride knowing that they know those things. And we worked in a facility too where we had our swim lesson program and they have a competitive swim team. So we were a feeder program for them.
Oh, cool.
And then the swim coaches in turn would come and do coaching clinics for our team, our home teachers. So we were speaking the same language. When they got to the swim team, the transition was easy.
That's awesome. Well, that's great, man. Thanks so much for jumping on today. Don't want to take too much of your time.
No problem.
But yeah, that's awesome. Good to see you. And we'll
Great.
talk more soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks a ton.